Ethan Caldwell wasn't a man known for sentiment. At 43, the billionaire entrepreneur had everything money could buy: private jets, glass towers in his name, and a mansion that overlooked the entire city skyline. But that rainy Thursday evening, fate took an unexpected turn. On his way home from a late shareholder meeting, Ethan instructed his driver to take a shortcut through the old industrial district, hoping to avoid gridlocked traffic. As the car crawled past a dimly lit corner, Ethan glanced out and saw something that made him do a double take. 2 small children, soaked from head to toe, huddled under a rusted bus stop with only a tattered blanket between them. He signaled the driver to stop. Rolling down his window, he asked, "Where are your parents?" The older child, a boy no older than 10, stood in front of his little sister and replied with rehearsed caution, "She went to get food. She'll be back soon." But his eyes betrayed the truth. There was no mother coming. Ethan, a man who negotiated mergers worth billions without blinking, hesitated. There was something about those children, maybe the way the girl clutched a doll with no eyes, or the way the boy shivered but didn't cry. Against every instinct he'd sharpened in the boardroom, Ethan said, "Get in. You'll be safe." That night, he brought them to his mansion, where marble floors met crystal chandeliers, and warmth flowed through heated walls. The staff looked on in shock as their boss, a man known for efficiency and distance, ordered hot meals, dry clothes, and made up guest rooms for 2 children who had nothing. As they settled in, Ethan couldn't shake the image of them in the rain. He didn't know their full story, only their names: Caleb and Lily. But as he watched them fall asleep in soft beds for the first time in what was likely months, something strange stirred in his chest. It wasn't pity, and it wasn't duty. It was a quiet pull, unfamiliar and terrifying. For the first time in years, Ethan felt something real. And though he didn't yet understand why, he knew one thing with certainty. This wasn't just a detour. This was the beginning of something life-changing. The morning after bringing Caleb and Lily home, Ethan sat at the breakfast table, barely touching his coffee. Across from him, the 2 children ate quietly, their eyes darting around the luxurious dining room, as if afraid it might all vanish. The silence was thick until Caleb, cautiously, looked up. "Are we going back out?" he asked, voice trembling. Ethan was taken aback. "No," he replied softly. "You're safe here." Caleb nodded, but the uncertainty lingered in his eyes. Later that day, Ethan asked his assistant to track down any missing persons reports matching the children's descriptions, but nothing came up. It was as if they had slipped through the cracks of the system, ghosts in a world that hadn't cared enough to notice them. That night, as Ethan passed by the children's room, he overheard them whispering. Something in Caleb's words stopped him cold. "We can't tell him yet. What if he sends us away?" Ethan's chest tightened. What were they hiding? The following evening, after dinner, Ethan gently encouraged Caleb to talk. The boy hesitated, then finally said, "She's gone. Our mom, she got sick, real bad. Before she died, she told me to protect Lily, no matter what. We didn't want to go into foster care. We've seen what happens to kids like us." Caleb's voice cracked as he spoke. "People don't keep kids who look like us. We thought we'd be better off alone." Ethan felt like the wind had been knocked out of him. These weren't just lost children, they were survivors, scarred by abandonment and prejudice. Lily, sitting beside her brother, clutched Ethan's sleeve and whispered, "But you're nice. You made us warm." It was all she said, but it was everything. Something broke open in Ethan's heart that night. He'd spent a lifetime chasing success, but in these 2 children, he found a purpose that no title or fortune could offer. He vowed, that moment, to adopt them not out of charity, but out of love. They weren't a temporary act of kindness, they were family. And though Ethan had once ruled boardrooms, nothing compared to the power of earning a child's trust. In their eyes, he saw not only their past but the future they could build together.